Some entrepreneurs are often concerned about the markets that they enter, thinking that it will be difficult to compete because there are large organizations in these markets, well entrenched, well capitalized, well known, and the entrepreneur will have difficulty trying to break into a market with a new product or service or a new brand name, or just not understanding the market well. Now, this is a reasonable concern to have, but I can tell you from working in corporate America and working with large corporations over a long time that large companies are often far more concerned about entrepreneurs than you might realize. And that's because large companies have challenges, particularly moving quickly as the market evolves. And today, in a marketplace that is evolving so quickly, where things are changing in so many ways, companies struggle to stay on top of these markets and to understand them and to mobilize everyone in the right direction. And even when they choose a direction, it's possible that that direction will not have the right nuance, the right thinking, the right people to execute effectively. As entrepreneurs, this is something to be aware of because entrepreneurs have great opportunity if you can see it and you can take advantage of it. If you understand how unique you are as an entrepreneur and how significant the opportunity is for you, you'll go all in. You'll test ideas. You won't worry about coming up with the perfect solution. You'll move on whatever it is. You'll try it, and you'll see how you can tackle a market, because every time you try something, you will learn something that others do not. You see, outsiders to a market have a better view of the market because they're not committed to the way things have always been. They're not committed to the bureaucracy, to the thinking, to the standards that they have to uphold, to the relationships that they have to keep, to the clients that they have to service. They can look at a market with fresh eyes and say, hey, I'm going to go over there. And by deciding to go over there, they often will identify something that a larger company has not seen, has underestimated, does not value, and by the time they see it, they will have difficulty moving in that direction. Entrepreneurs have the ability to move very quick. And so you can decide on a Monday morning that I'm going to try this out. And by Monday afternoon, you can do it. In a big company, you can propose something on Monday, and it might be 9 months before they even consider doing it. And then it might be another 3 months before you get started doing it. By the time everyone is on board, by the time budgets are announced, by the time meetings are had and discussions are had, and people come back from vacation and this, that, and the other. So that's the power of being an entrepreneur. Now, when you enter a market, or when you see an opportunity within a market, initially you won't be taken seriously. And that's a great thing because it allows you to focus on what you want to focus on without this big entity breathing down your neck and the quarterly results breathing down your neck, the industry press, the industry analysts, and all of those things. But as you continue, you will learn more and more about the market. It will respond to you more and more. You will get better. You will get deeper. You will get more specific. You will get more knowledge about your particular segment in the market. And that's when it gets really exciting because you will see opportunities to sell new products, to unify, to consolidate, to take a piece of that market. You will see opportunities that others do not see because you're an outsider and because you're committed to results. You're committed to moving quicker. Often a larger company is not even committed to results in the same way that an entrepreneur is because you have other pressures. When you look at big entities now, big corporations who are now the establishment, they were once entrepreneurial enterprises. Companies like Staples, companies like Starbucks, Panera Bread. It's not that there wasn't someone before them that sold stationery or coffee or sandwiches. These markets had plenty of competitors in them and plenty of entities that could serve customers and clients. But they had entrepreneurs who took a fresh view at the market and said, how do we do this better? How do we improve what we do? And now those names are standards. They're the establishment. And I can tell you that even those names, as well established as they are and as innovative as they have been, they will be challenged and are being challenged by other entities as well. So as an entrepreneur, you have to recognize that these are great opportunities. It's about imagination. It's about looking at a market and imagining how you can do it better. Imagining how you can take a piece of that market and amplify it, improve it, serve it better, focus on it better, innovate in it better, be more creative in it. It's about looking at a market with imagination. In the luxury market, where I do a lot of work, we see this happening, particularly in fashion. It happens all the time in fashion, but in recent years, one area of luxury that's been fascinating is one that was never considered luxury before, and that's the category of streetwear. And what you see are entrepreneurs all across the country and all around the world, in urban centers, in other markets, essentially saying, let me put a little different twist on the way this outfit looks, the way this hat it looks, the way this scarf looks, the way these slacks look. That's one of the reasons why you've seen the explosion of the sneaker market. Today, I go to conferences and you see business people wearing suits and wearing sneakers. And you used to see that in New York in the 80s, where people would put on their sneakers so that they could dash across the street and commute and all that. But today, that is a fashion statement. It is the norm. It is comfort, it is fashion, and some people look at that as quite elegant. It's an attitude that says, hey, we're casual, and we're blending casual with more formal wear or more traditional wear. And so this is an example of a market that the big fashion houses had not paid attention to. But now you see these brands saying, oh, we have to integrate streetwear into what we're doing. We have to integrate the sneaker into what we're doing. We have to integrate these interesting urban-inspired designs into what we're doing. And so what happens? There's a whole host of designers who are being welcomed into these legacy brands to help them understand how to compete in this market, how to design in this market, and how to get the flavor, if you will, that this market really demands. So you can do it on many different levels. It can be design, it can be product, it can also be something like internet savvy. Believe it or not, there are companies that over the last 20 years have not figured out that the world is driven by the internet today, that the world is driven by mobile, and that you have to have a strong internet presence. Believe it or not, there are industries who are just figuring that out, and they're thinking of it as something that's coming, not something that is here. Well, you can take a category that you're in, and you could say, hey, we're going to really be internet savvy. We're going to really be mobile savvy. We're really going to be social media savvy. And you're going to seize a part of the market that others who are not paying attention to that are going to seize. Another aspect of this is attitude. And this is very common in the luxury market, because the legacy brands, their attitude is that Well, we've been around for 100 years, and of course you're going to buy our product. Of course your son and daughter are going to buy our product. And this is a family heirloom. This is a family tradition. And of course you're going to come to us. And there's almost this attitude of ignoring clients, ignoring customers, because we are the established, strong, identifiable luxury brand. Well, just a different attitude, attentiveness, concern, interest, care will change the dynamic in the marketplace, because young people, for example, don't care about heritage and pedigree. They care about whether or not this product serves my needs, whether or not it looks good and feels good, whether or not it's a good value, whether or not it makes a social statement, whether it's contributing to my values, whether it aligns with my values, whether it's transparent, whether I like the way they're presenting themselves, whether they're diverse. All of these are values that are far more important to young people than the heritage of a brand. So as an entrepreneur, you have to recognize that all of these elements give you power that you might not realize. Now, one market I love looking at in terms of its innovation, you might not think of it as an innovative category, but it is a market where entrepreneurs have innovated over the years, and they've added amenities that have changed the standards. And that market is the real estate market. There was a time where people wanted to live in a hotel because the hotel had all the amenities. It had a concierge, had a restaurant, had entertainment, might have had a hairstylist or hairdresser in the building, a fitness center. Well, these things are now part of apartment buildings all across the country, and there are communities where they're developing homes, where there are fresh farms in the middle. There are all kinds of things that real estate developers are looking at and saying, how can we do this better? How can we have a smaller footprint and more space inside? How can we add all these amenities? How can we create community, clubhouse, and all these things that someone can have that would make them feel like they're in a plush hotel when in fact they're at home. And all of these things are exciting developments in the real estate market. In fact, I was going through the Wall Street Journal, the mansion section, which is the high-end real estate section. And as I was looking in here, and I was looking at all the innovation that's taking place all across the country, Colorado, New Mexico, or North Carolina, Texas, Connecticut, New York, Chicago, just incredible innovation. And every one of these articles is showing how they're approaching the development of these real estate properties differently. Everything from accommodating older people to letting more light into buildings, to incorporating artistic designs and interesting innovations in terms of the environment. Just an incredible array of amenities being added in the real estate market. It's an exciting time, and as an entrepreneur, if you are wondering whether you can compete, there's no question you can compete today. You can take your market, you can take a segment of that market, and you can go all in and you can just do it up. And even if you don't have the capital that others have, there are so many ways that you can do it better. You could be better with people. You could be better with your innovation. You can be better with your content. You can be better with your pricing. You can be better with your variety. You can be better with your storytelling. There's just so many ways you could approach it. As an entrepreneur, remember that you don't have to fear whether you can compete. You don't have to worry whether you can compete. You can. You have to just unleash imagination and think about your market differently. And while it might be difficult at times to see how you can get more clients, get more customers, get more cash flow flowing into your business, there are ways. And if you are imaginative, if you are assertive, and if you don't give up, you will be able to tackle markets in ways that were once only a dream. It's your imagination. And those big companies out there, while they are well financed, well entrenched, well known, they fear you more than you realize. And they have good reason to fear you because you have nothing to lose. So be scrappy, be focused, continue to work towards your goals. There's a lot of opportunity out there, and make sure that you see it and you seize it. If you like this tip, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. Share it with someone in your network, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. I have a lot more coming. I'll see you next time.